Welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we are watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Not much, Ben. Excited to talk about
Stuff and things.
Two things?
Yeah,
Three
not
things? Who
as
knows?
big as last week. It's a late night in the podcast studio, much later than we normally do. Just got done watching the latest episode of Last of Us, which is, oh my god, Last Judge.
And ready, rolling, and take two.
We just finished the latest episode of The Last of Us. We'll talk about that, plus our main topic, Until Dawn. Let's start with a roll.
It's a big video game week, Ben.
Is it?
Until Dawn, Last of Us.
Sure, I guess.
11. Oof. That's strong.
All right.
Ooh, a 3.
Oh my
Goodness
god.
gracious. I am racking up
We
the
are
points.
getting closer and closer to the July. And I just realized that like a couple days ago, like, oh, we're going to be doing our bracket in the next couple of months. And I need to start rolling better because you are way ahead. Okay, you had 11 and I had 3. Okay, well, I mean, if you're the one with the least amount of stuff, but you won, so you get to go first.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we mentioned last week. We did. I finished Wheel of Time. You haven't. We'll talk about that at
you
some
also
point.
promised that you were going to watch Black Mirror. We were going to rank them.
I said I was going to try.
You know, and you didn't even watch one of them. But it's okay.
But one thing I did finish this week was a book. I know your favorite thing for me to talk about.
Hey, I'm reading a book right now too.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not done.
By reading, are you reading it or are you listening to it?
I am listening to someone tell me a book.
There you go. No judgment. They're all good forms of.
There's just we need a new verb for that because saying, you know, I'm listening to a book makes no sense, but you're not reading an audio thing. You could say I'm enjoying an audio book, but that just seems a bit much. We need a new verb. Not listening, not reading. Lurstering.
There it is. Rolls off the tongue. Anyway, I finished book 2 in the Bloodsworn saga. Hunger of the Gods is what it's called. And I very much enjoyed book 1. Book 2, I think, started off a little bit slower.
Did you say blood swarm?
Blood sworn. Like I've sworn to defend this person. SWORN.
And it's book 2 of the what now?
The book is called Hunger of the Gods. It's book 2 of the Blood Sworn Saga.
Got it.
By John Gwynne. And yes, I really enjoyed this book. It expanded the world.
I'm assuming you talked about the first book on this podcast.
I did. I'm not sure how much detail I talked about it, but basically it's a Viking-inspired fantasy world where, you know, massive gods had wreaked havoc on the world and wreaked havoc. Don't fuck me up. Anyway, they broke the world or whatever, and they've been dead for a long time, and now maybe some of the gods are back, and things are getting a little crazy. And in the first book, we had 3 point of view characters. Those 3 are back, but now we get 2 more point of view characters. We get a little bit more of some new creatures and some like new abilities and stuff that we may have not seen in book 1. And it's just an action-packed thrill ride with some really fun characters who are just all fucking badass and cool. And it just is like so fast-paced. Not that every like chapter is a fight, but it just goes and goes and goes, and you're like rooting for all these characters. 2 of the point of view characters, and this one are technically like bad guys, but they're both interesting in their own way, and how all these characters are going to, coalesce. Yes, thank you. It's just really well written, and I'm having a blast with it. I'm reading book 3 now, and I can't wait to see how it ends. Hopefully, I heard book 3 is probably the weakest of the 3, so I'm not sure if maybe the landing doesn't land so well.
The ending doesn't
land so well. There we go.
Steve's very tired. He had a long day and it's midnight.
Yes. The ending doesn't land as well as it should. I don't know. But so far, so good. Highly recommend at least the first 2 books. If you like Vikings, if you like action, if you like fantasy, if you like tons of cool different monsters. This book's for you.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right. That's what I got.
All right. Well, that's our episode.
Tune in next time.
I want to
Is there
talk.
trailers or anything you want to talk about?
I didn't even have any news or anything. So,
Hmm.
but I do have a few things. So this year has been a fucking sweet ass year for television. We've had just banger after banger. Once something's done, something else is there for you to watch. Gemstones is still on, Last of Us is on. We had Daredevil, just lots of good stuff. But you could take all that and I can never see another episode of anything else because I have Andor back. The greatest TV show on air right now. Fuck The Last of Us. It's all about Andor. Andor is the best Star Wars property. I like it better than anything of the original trilogy. Obviously you don't have Andor without it, so it's necessary. So they're kind of on a place of its own. But compared to anything else, nothing compares to Andor season 1. And season 2 came back and they're dropping them in 3 episode chunks, 12 episodes total. And this is the one of the most well-written shows I've seen. Just being able to live in the world of Star Wars that have no lightsabers, no force users. Yeah, the Empire's there, but there's no Darth Vader. There's no flips off of catwalks and John Williams score. I mean, the music is still pretty good, especially in that 3rd episode. There's like a rave, and it's great. It sounds kind of silly, but Mon Mothma's just like letting it all hang out. Sounds really silly, but so it's like this one picks up. It is.
Are they playing Jizz at the club?
They are not playing Jizz.
Damn.
I know. I was hoping for that Jabba Palace song.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no.
Let me hear your best impression of the Jabba Palace song. We're just gonna get a huge copyright on us
because it was so accurate, right?
Yeah, that was pretty solid. I'm impressed.
Oh man, I did that for Nick and Alex one time, like just busted it out, and it was like way more accurate than that. And I was getting all the backup singers and stuff, and they were dying. It was a really proud moment just to see. I mean, making Nick laugh isn't hard, but it's just one of the better ones.
Your random impressions are always the best because it's never just like, "Hey Ben, do this impression." It's just like, here it is all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like
most people have like a Schwarzenegger,
a Christopher Walken. Yeah.
You just have like random nonsense.
Just hey, remember these 4 lines from Family Guy? Yeah. I can kill this. But anywho,
oh boy.
So yeah, living in the world of Star Wars is excellent. You get to see all the minutia. Like the very first scene is Andor on an Imperial base. They have a new TIE fighter that they're about to test out, and he is snuck on as like a test pilot. And he's talking to an Imperial officer who is defecting to the rebellion, and she's like really nervous about like, is this really going to be worth it? I may die tonight letting you take this. I like it here. I have friends and I have fun. I know it sounds crazy in the world of fucking space Nazis, but like this is my life. And you just don't see that normally. There's a scene where Krennic from Rogue One, Ben Mendelsohn, he's back.
Oh, nice.
He has gathered all these Imperial people because, they have a dilemma and they're the smartest of the bunch. So do you remember Dedra from season 1, the blonde Imperial woman who's just really hard-nosed? Like she's there, her boss is there, and a bunch of other people. And pretty much the conversation is, this planet makes all the clothing in the universe. They have these spiders that do nothing but create this silk in the caves of their planet.
Oh, okay.
And we just no, the spiders don't actually make it.
I thought you were for half a second. I was like, these spiders are making clothes.
Yeah, with the little sewing machines and a little sweatshop. No, it's just like they don't eat, they don't sleep, they just produce web, and we take their webs and turn it into all the clothes that supports the entire place. Well, the Empire's like, they got this like mineral inside the planet, and we need it to coat the lenses of the Death Star. They don't say Death Star, but and like so we got to figure out a way. How do we go about this, kind of diplomatically? And people are like, well, we could gas the whole planet, and oh well, we could send them to concentration camps. Like, yeah, that would probably be good, but is it really worth it? Because we're probably gonna have to crack this whole planet open, and everyone's gonna die. And they're just so blasé about coming down and displacing all these people and destroying a world just to get their mineral for their super weapon. And they're walking
Was
around.
there Oppenheimer scene?
They're like eating little crackers and stuff. Like they're at the like Marriott at some business center, and it's just like in a movie for this, you would say like, we need to get that mineral now. Cut to boots on the ground, laser guns firing, and it's like, no, this is part of the entire the bigger plot, because I guess this was a big turn for the rebellion, like in the expanded media. Like, look what they are doing to us, and more people rise up. And so, like, Dedra's put on this task. She doesn't really want to do it because it's like, ugh, I don't want to kill a bunch of fuckers, but, like
Is that the name of the spiders? The fuckers?
The fuckers, yeah. I mean, there's people on the planet, too.
Oh, okay.
So it's just so different than anything you've ever seen. You don't have to know Star Wars. I mean, it helps knowing where Mon Mothma ends up. But I didn't know they were dropping them in 3-episode chunks. So when I did, I like pull it up at 1 a.m. and I'm doing the math like, fuck, I'm going to bed late, but I don't care. It's Andor time. And and it's just the absolute best. Funny. There's some really funny stuff in it too, and scary, and I just can't sing its praises enough. I know you were just kind of on season 1, and I'm sure after all this hype, you will probably say as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like recently you've been on things you enjoy, you've really enjoyed, and the things that you enjoy, I'm just like, I see its value, but it's just not for me. And you talked so highly about Andor. I watched season 1, and of all the like stuff of Star Wars that have come out recently, it's the one I probably. Well, maybe I enjoyed Mandalorian more because I think Mandalorian was just more fun. But I get like what set Andor apart, and there are like the episode with
Andy Serkis and
Andy
the Prison
Serkis
Break.
is like great episode. Really enjoyed that.
3 episodes.
3 episodes. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Skarsgård speech about like seeing a sunset or like not being able to see the sunset in a world like I make or whatever.
Yeah.
Like great speech. Like there's really great stuff in it.
Skarsgård has this great line in it where he's telling Mon Mothma like, hey, that informant guy that you've been using, he's a liability. We may have to, take care of him. And that's another thing. Like the way they talk is anybody overhearing, they would not know that they're talking about rebellion stuff. It's so clever. And she's just like, but I've known him all my life. I don't think I know what you're saying. And he says, how nice for you. Damn, that's good. But one of the scenes, like he's an art dealer. He's at Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding. He's schmoozing with all these Imperial people, and there's like a young guy, and they're like, "Oh, this is Brian." Brian's in Star Wars.
Sure.
And like, "Oh, he's on this planet with the Empire," and he's just like, "Really? And where are they going after that?" Just like pumping people for information, but they think he's just some big moron. It's great. I'm having such a good time.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
You got a month. Once it's done, that means you have 12 hours of Andor to watch. You might as well just put it on your schedule every Tuesday.
Yeah, probably more easy to digest in 3-hour chunks versus. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. So Andor.
I'm gonna have to do like a YouTube clip of like, here's what happened last season, because I remember chunks, but
they actually there wasn't a recap before this. It just jumped you right into it. But I'm sure there's.
I just also what was like that Ben Shapiro looking dude?
Oh yeah,
like I forget what his whole deal was.
Cecil.
Cecil, that's his name.
The other Empire guy who's obsessed with going after Andor.
Yeah.
I
don't remember like his storyline at all.
I'm not going to tell you what they do with him because I would have never expected it, and it's so charming.
Ass to ass?
Yes, that's it.
Now we're talking. Now I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Well, let's move on to something we could both talk about.
Okay.
Let's talk about The Last of Us. It's back, season 2. We have episode 1 through 3. We just finished 3 minutes ago. Last week was the big episode. A lot of
Yeah,
it's I love watching those because it's like the new Red Wedding.
sure.
Seeing so many reaction videos of like boyfriends recording their girlfriends recording their mom. That doesn't make sense. Women recording their parents,
Yeah.
and people just are not too happy with this show and swearing it off. Pedro's the only one, the only reason they're watching it. And you know what? Fuck them. You don't want to watch it? That's your loss.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that they picked like America's boyfriend right now. Everyone loves Pedro, and he's the it guy at the
Yep.
moment, and they're just like, "Yep, he's dead now."
Yeah. Oh, and now you got to follow this lead actress that a lot of people don't really like. So
Mhm.
I would like to see the numbers week to week and see if it does fall off specifically for that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see there being a reactionary, like, "I'm not gonna do it," and then everyone keeps hearing about how great the show is, and like,
Yeah.
no, no,
Okay, okay, okay,
I'll
yeah.
begrudgingly finish
Yeah.
it.
It's like, okay, you love Joel so much. Don't you want to see her get revenge? Don't you want to see that bitch die and all of her stupid fucking friends? And then learn along the way that she's not a dumb bitch and her friends are just
Ben,
going
spoilers.
so yeah, I mean, so far so good. I mean, episode 1 was pretty good, just kind of a basic
Yeah,
getting
set up.
back in the
Here's
saddle.
Jackson. Here's the
Yeah.
world. It's been 5 years.
Hmm. What's
Here's
going on with Ellie and
here's some new
Joel? Yeah.
characters. And then yeah, I mean, not much to say about episode 2. A lot of it,
1.
or sorry, episode 1. A lot of it was, I think, relatively new stuff, just
Sure.
because it's like more expanding on certain
Hmm.
characters and stuff. We get, some nice moments like the dance, like that
Yeah.
was pulled straight from the game, like
Perfect.
almost shot for shot
Yep.
is crazy.
Hmm.
Um, Isabella Merced, I think is her name,
Hmm.
just as Dina. I think she's great.
Yeah.
Really like brings this like fun energy to the show that's just been
Hmm.
like such a downer to watch most of the
Yeah.
time. Even though you do like the dynamic between Joel and Ellie, like you don't have that in
Hmm.
episode 1 because they're at odds. Uh, and introduced a therapist character, which is getting way more screen time than I
Oh yeah.
really anticipated. Through the first 3 episodes. So we'll see if she like continues to be in all the episodes. And I mean, I love that actress. Oh God, her name's escaping me though.
You're pointing at me, the guy that points
Yes.
to you all the time.
Oh God, I'm gonna hate myself.
Home Alone mom, Schitt's Creek's mom,
Yeah. Oh God.
Beetlejuice mom.
Whatever. Well, she's great. And I'm
Nah,
happy.
don't move on. Figure out what her name is. It's very
I just
rude.
need a first letter. It's oh man. All right. Dead air. Here we go. It is. Does it begin with an M or something?
Moira McTaggart.
Oh, that'd be
No.
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine
There we
O'Hara.
go. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah, episode 1, good stuff.
Yeah.
Episode 2, a lot of new stuff. And a lot of the stuff we were expecting. The big change, a huge zombie battle.
Yeah.
That
A horde and a bloater.
that does not occur in the game
No.
at all. There's a horde-esque moment in the game
Sure.
that does play out with the new Abby character. That is also like pretty much pulled straight from the game. All that
Mhm.
stuff with her and
And
Joel
the fence
and the fence and all that stuff. It's
Except
all,
for that hand that was
Oh.
pushing through the chain link.
That was nice.
awesome.
Yeah. But we'll come back to that.
Okay.
So we have this big battle because really the episode is really about this like small moment with Joel and
Mhm.
Abby. But it's like, what are we going to do for the other 45 minutes? We should just have a big giant zombie battle. And it's pretty fucking sweet.
It's pretty great.
There is some, and it seems like they use like real strategy. It's not just like, let's just all standing in line and like
And
let the
fire
zombies
randomly.
charge them or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, we're going to be on the wall and shoot down at them. And we have like bombs ready. Not bombs, but
yeah,
exploding
big oil
barrels.
drums.
Yeah, we've prepared for this. Everyone else is going to get on the roof. So if they break through, we just mow them down that way. And it's just really fucking sweet. Because the big thing about last season is there wasn't enough clickers and zombies and stuff. Well, so far, we're getting a lot of them.
Yeah.
And my only gripe with that whole battle is I hate the and I get like a lot of the creatures are blind, but like Tommy just being in the middle of the square, like firing, and like all the zombies
Yeah.
are just like, we'll leave this
Yeah.
guy alone
I'll
and
pass
kill
him to go get that person
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
just like,
dog.
I didn't
Yeah.
care for that. But you know, him soloing a bloater, and it's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not some big battle where the bloater's picking him up and throwing him against the wall,
Yeah.
or just like he goes and like, you know, brings his hammer hands down or whatever, and just like he rolls out of the way at the last second. It's like, nope, I'm just gonna back up and keep flamethrowing you until you just fall over and die.
That's what you gotta do in the game.
That's what you gotta do in the
Yep.
game, because you can't let the bloaters touch you.
Yeah. Same with like in that first episode when you see the clickers and it's just a scene from the game. How do you distract the clicker? Throwing a bottle,
Mhm.
defeating it, using by a stealth attack. Then something happens. You know, the wall falls down, the floor opens up, and now you're in a new area, and you got to figure out a way to get out,
Mhm.
discover a new enemy type. It's just wonderful to see video game mechanic stuff integrated in just flawlessly.
Yeah. One thing we didn't talk about episode 1 is introduce a new type of
Oh yeah, the stalker.
the stalker, who
I thought
was
they were bigger though. Like,
mm,
weren't they much taller and skinny?
I mean, they were always like, I think, lankier, but I don't think they were
Mm.
tall.
Okay.
They just might have seemed taller to Ellie because Ellie's smaller than
Yeah,
Joel.
that's true.
I
But
don't
it just
know.
seemed like a child version, and I guess that could happen. They scare me in the game. I'm not looking. I'm
Oh, yeah.
replaying the game, and I'm not looking for that part where you're in that office building and you turn around and one's head is just like poking out through a door, watching you, and then pulls back. Like, God, now you gotta go chase this thing.
And then you have to be like a foot away to use your hearing to like see their outline,
Yeah.
because otherwise, like, that's the whole thing. Like, you can't use your senses to
Uh-huh.
find them.
But if you know which walls they're coming out of, you could just headshot them right in their little cocoon thing. So that's nice.
But yeah, I like the introduction of stalkers in the game. They're just kind of like, it's a thing that they do. They're not like an evolved version.
No.
But in the show, it you know, comes up with the idea of like, oh, they can plan,
Mhm.
and they can like, you know, come up with ways to
Strategy.
to get to you, because it just doesn't work anymore. They're evolving in that
Yeah.
sense. So I like that. But yeah, we'll see if we see more of them in the future.
I'm
Who's
sure
to say?
we will. I'm sure we will.
So yeah, then back to episode 2, we got Joel's death.
Yeah.
It was a big thing when the game came out. For those of you who may not have played the game, it was a huge deal in the gaming community that our favorite character is dead within the first 3 hours of the game.
Yeah. Even less, I think. I think it's like hour and a half.
Yeah. And everyone's just like, well, fuck this chick.
Yeah.
And then you play the rest of the game and you're like, do I agree? But, you know,
Big scheme of things, you know, everyone loves Ellie. Ellie's the monster.
Yeah.
Ellie's much worse than Abby ever was.
But what's different from the game and the show is that we know immediately what Abby's
that's a weird choice. Motivation
is, where in the game it's like you don't find out Abby's motivation till halfway through the game.
Yeah.
If not more. But probably about halfway.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played. So that's an interesting choice, but I trust the show creators and stuff.
He's got to have a good reason for that.
I think, you know, maybe it's just like people watching the show, they are going to instantly hate this person and they have no real connection as to like why this person did this. So I kind of get it.
Yeah.
It may have just been like a game thing versus a show. It's a different medium, and like we need to have the audience know that there's a reason behind this person, just like signaling him out. And also I guess that it's, well, the information's out there. The game has been around for years.
Yeah.
Like,
why keep
people are going to
this a
just look it
secret?
up anyway, so we might as well just tell them.
And there could only be so many reasons, you know. It's not the type of show that would, oh, well, here's a thing Joel did before he even met Ellie, and now it's coming after him.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, the actions of the previous season is why. And what was the big thing he did? He killed a lot of random people, but killing the Fireflies at the end was the biggest major thing. It only makes sense that it would be there. It's just a strange choice to kind of reveal all that information up front.
Yeah. And then what was I gonna say? Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. You brought up, you know, a lot of people might be just like check out after this episode. The coworker I told you about, who's really into the show, and we talked about it. She's like, Steve, Joel died. I'm like, yeah, I know. I knew that was coming.
Mhm.
She's like, you did? I was like, yeah, I played the game. This is how it goes. She's like, I'm so upset. Like, I don't think I can. I might not even watch it anymore. It's
Mhm.
like, good.
Save it for the true fans.
No,
Fair weather fan.
she said she was going to watch it, but she was very devastated by the
Yeah.
loss of Joel because she's like, I'm so surprised I didn't see it coming. It's like,
Mhm.
yep. And I can't tell her anything because she doesn't know anything about the games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting to actually see a person that I know go like, yeah, I think I need to step away from this thing because I was just too invested in it. It's like, no, that's why you need to dive back in.
Yeah,
Watch through the hate.
I wanted to watch it with my roommate because she always has good reactions for things, funny or shocking. And like zombie, like I was playing the game in front of her, and there's just like a zombie chasing after me, and she's just screaming the whole time. Uh, and she texts me saying like, "This is the most intense show of anything I've ever seen because it is cutting back and forth between the Joel and Ellie stuff and the town getting attacked,
Mhm.
and it's just going and going and going. And I'm sure she was having a heart attack, but episode 3,
Episode 3.
kind of, we got our heart racing. Now we got to calm down a little.
Yeah, this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah, well, we got to get the true plot in motion. This
Mhm.
is it.
Yeah.
With only 4 episodes to go.
Only 4 episodes. Yeah. Ellie is now recovered. It has been 3 months since the battle and the loss of Joel. The town is, starting to recover and rebuild the wall and rebuild the houses. They've buried their dead. They've, all still grieving, but pretty much all moved on. And then it's just like Dina reveals, hey, I lied to you for the past 3 months. I know who these people are. I know where they live. And Ellie's just like, all right, let's fucking go. And then Tommy's like, we'll put it to the vote from the town. And this is all like new stuff
All
for the
brand
show
new,
to
yeah.
sort of give us more context as like how this town operates and how like everybody lost people this day.
Yeah, the town barely has any sort of character in the game. You just know a handful of people there, and that's about it. And you can just come and go as you please.
And like, why wouldn't more people follow Ellie after that? Because in the game, it's just kind of like, well, Joel dies. She like cuts to sometime later. He's buried. She's standing over his grave, and it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna head out. Dina's coming with me, and it's just like, in the context of the game, it might have been like 2 days later. It's like, all right, let's fucking go.
And Tommy's like, I'll get you the horse and stuff.
Yeah. Tommy is very much like, I want to go after them, but I think his leg was busted or something like that.
He leaves before them.
Oh, that's
he
right.
holds them up, and he takes off because you're kind of following in his wake of destruction.
Yeah.
Which I'm interested. Like, will they do? What's the Asian dude's name again?
Jesse.
Yeah, it's like I can see Tommy and Jesse going. We got to go after them, and because Jesse shows up later on, and so does Tommy, but he was ahead of the game, so maybe they will hit the road and take a different path and somehow get ahead of them. I can see them just merging their stories for convenience.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll see any of Tommy and Jesse's story.
Yeah, because it's like there was that sniper fight, and like it was like Tommy.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I know we're gonna see them later. I'm just saying, like, I don't think we're gonna cut from Dina and Ellie to Tommy.
No.
Like,
They will
just
be
like
show
something
up.
happened, and like, oh, it's them.
Yeah, Ellie will be being attacked. Someone, the clicker will get shot in the head. Oh, look, it's our 2 friends. They'll just randomly show up.
Or what? Yeah.
Now Dina's the Ellie and Ellie's the Joel, just being an annoying person on the road. And she's just like, can you just shut up? I just want silence. And it's just such a Joel thing.
Yeah, but now there's a will they, won't they element to it that wasn't there
that we
with
did
Joel.
not want.
That we did not want with Joel and Ellie.
I mean, some people wanted. Rule 34 will tell you otherwise. But
gross. I'm not on the internet that you are on. But yeah, I mean, as soon as I like that they added the Seth stuff. Anyone who played the game, he was just that character that made like a bigoted comment at the dance. They do it on the show, but now they kind of give him like a kind of a redemption arc in the span of an episode, which I think is really nice. Where he's just like, yeah, man, this fucked up. Like, I'm with you two, and gives them all the supplies. I thought it was like a really nice little moment that I appreciated. We get the introduction of the scars, the Seraphites, the religious group.
I guess scars is kind of like a slur. You know, we
Yeah,
probably should call them the Seraphites.
sure.
I don't
Yeah.
want to offend them. We'll get letters.
uh, and we just get a glimpse of the WLF. We get a glimpse of the Seraphites, but there's clearly a war, but we don't know why that war is.
Mhm.
And we just get a tease of Seattle, and what's to come. We get no Abby in this episode,
Yeah.
no Pedro, other than his wrist.
Yeah.
If that
Pretty
was
sure
even
that.
him,
Yeah. No,
I
that was
doubt
a
it.
mannequin.
Yeah, and we're just it was the setup episode, and so
Yeah.
I think the next 3 episodes are going to be 3 to 4 episodes, 4 episodes, 4 episodes are going to be a real good time.
So where do you think it ends? Spoilers for people who don't want to know, but where do you think this season ends?
So the logical ending would be Abby shows up at the theater,
Yes.
and then next season we get
Mostly Abby stuff.
mostly Abby stuff, because I figured the season was going to be like cutting back and forth, because that's like generally how shows go versus games, where you're like, oh, I can do this whole thing and then I can cut back and then play this again from another perspective. Because I can't see like Caitlin Deaver not being in the rest of this really until the final episode.
I'm gonna say episode 6 will be the flashback for Abby with her dad, and then seeing what it's like being in the WLF in the stadium, fighting more of the scars. We'll see the beginning of her stuff, and then I do think the last episode will be at the theater. It just makes the most sense to kind of high tension.
Yeah. I mean, most people I've seen online commented like episode 4 is day 1, episode 5 is day 2, because the game, it's over 3 days when you're in Seattle.
Yeah.
Episode 6 is
Damn,
the flashback
does some
episode.
crazy stuff
and
in
then
3
episode
days.
7 is day 3.
Okay.
And then next season we'll get all the other stuff.
Okay.
So I think that's like the consensus among fans.
Okay.
I don't know if the show will do anything different. But I'm gonna just let it ride and trust them, and
Hell yeah, brother.
I enjoy this show, and I am so blown away. Sometimes like you look at a shot and you're just like, how they fucking made it straight from the game.
Yep.
Which shouldn't really be that surprising because it's already storyboarded for you. But then it's just like you see it in real life, and you're like, first that was digital, and now someone made that in real life. It's crazy.
It's easy. You can set your sun and all the little particles that float in the air and the light beams shining through a window to highlight her playing a guitar, but you see it, in live action. Like, damn, that must have been much harder to do than just rendering things.
Who knows?
I don't know.
But kudos to everyone working on the show. You're doing a bang up job, and all your changes, for the most part, I pretty much agree with.
They're not like,
or at least like
it.
They're not ruining, I think, the game experience at all. Just a ton of fun.
Yeah, agreed. I got one last quick thing before we get to our main topic. I saw Legend of Ochi.
Ooh.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but it was one of those things like, it looks so interesting. I kind of want to.
Yeah.
But I'll wait till I hear anything about it. And I haven't really heard anything about it.
Yeah, it sucks. It looks good. Like, there's some nice scenery, landscape shots. Ochi, the Ochi is like a puppet more than CG. Looks great. It does kind of just look like any Star Wars gobbledygook thing. It's a baby Yoda. It's a gizmo.
Sure.
But it is cute and it looks good. The problem is, it is like, this is the whole story. You're on an island. The legend is these Ochi things, they will kill you, they will fuck you up. So we got to go into the woods and we got to kill them ourselves. Little girl finds an injured baby one and brings it back to its mom, while her dad, an avid Ochi hunter, is on her ass, and her mom is an Ochi researcher, and they have like split apart. And she learns a little something from both of them and gives the Ochi back to his mom, and then happy family again. It's the most bare bones.
Is this a PG movie? PG-13?
I think it's probably PG. It's A24's first family film.
Oh, okay.
So it's not meant to be scary, but I think it could have. I think if this was directed by, what's his name, Jared Hess?
Yeah.
And it was like the town of weirdos on this secluded island, like a Gentleman Broncos or something.
Yeah.
It could have worked. Or high art Wes Anderson kookiness.
Yeah.
Because even like Willem Dafoe's like wearing like an army jacket with medals and stuff on it, and I could just see Wes Anderson taking this bizarre story and really playing with it, and it's just so boring. It's the little girl. She has an accent; it's kind of hard to understand at times, and like I'm just nodding off because it's not engaging me at all. It's unfortunate. It's a first time director. I guess this was like a student film of his that he
Okay.
started with and then took it to something bigger. Best of luck on the next one. Maybe have someone look at your script, add a little something to it, because snoring. All right, let's get to our main topic.
Okay.
Talking about video games, what a week! Uh, Until Dawn, the video game that came out in
2015.
Nice, Steve. See, you don't know Catherine Hahn's name. What's her name?
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine
I knew her
O'Hara.
name. Just I'm allowed to have brain farts from
That's
time to
fine.
time.
Yeah. Normally it's me. It's nice to be the sharp one.
In my defense, after this movie, of course, I did go and look up like, oh, when did Until Dawn come out? And then I was looking at all the
okay. So,
dark picture anthology,
Sure.
gory stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
So Until Dawn, it's a PlayStation exclusive. I think at least it was. Maybe it's not anymore, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on all the
consoles
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it's just one of those choose your own adventure games. Yeah, like we had like Heavy Rain and what was the other one? Detroit Become Human.
I love both
Like
those games.
both really fun games.
Did you ever play Two Souls?
I didn't play Two Souls.
Two Souls is sweet too.
I've heard.
Yeah.
And so when Until Dawn came out, like, oh, a horror version of this? Absolutely, I'm sold. Played it on my own, beat it. I think I only had 2 of my people die. I just had a really good time. Had
Yeah.
some issues with it because it's a little bit of everything. You're doing a horror one of these. You want your saw traps. You want your psycho killer. You want your monster in the woods. You want maybe the ghost of dead teenagers. And I know what you did last summer. Sort of backstory. There's just a lot in
Mhm.
it. And for the most part, I think it works. I don't think it's as strong of a story as, like, say, The Quarry.
Yeah, for me, I think the Quarry's number one.
Yeah.
Of the
Dark Anthology.
technically the Quarry and Until Dawn aren't part of the Dark.
Oh, they're not?
Yeah. I don't know why they necessarily differentiate them.
But same studio?
So Supermassive. So they're all created by Supermassive. I think I looked it up. But then like Until Dawn and the Quarry, I think are like by like Bandai Co or something like
Okay.
that. So they're like by the same creators,
Okay.
maybe even in the same world, but they're like the Quarry is more of a sequel to Until Dawn than the other games are to those two.
Okay. All right.
Just so everyone knows.
Yeah. But still, like, a really fun, good game. How did you do? Do you remember how many people died?
I think I only had 1 die.
Okay.
And maybe 2.
There was a
Good.
bullshit one where you're running to the back door.
Well,
I died there.
yeah, I definitely died there, but I think I restarted because like I
Okay.
refused that because
Yeah,
that was
that
just
was
me
bullshit.
like missing a button.
Yeah.
And I know that's like not the point of the game. Shut up.
Shut up.
I don't care.
Shut up.
But I beat that. He was running, didn't trip, so the monster didn't get him. Then he gets to the door, and it's his girlfriend who locks him out because early in the game, it was the thing where it's like point the gun at yourself or at her. And I was like, well, I like this guy. It's like there's no point in me killing myself. I might as well just kill her. But it's like no matter who you chose, the bullet doesn't actually. It was a blank or whatever. So because I chose to shot her, she locked me out, and then the monster got me. So either way, he was going to die, and I was furious because
there's no going back and fixing that.
Yeah. Because that was like 4 hours in this 15-hour game or whatever. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I know for sure he died, and then maybe after the explosion, someone else died, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure who my second person was,
but at least 4 of the 6 made it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know there's the couple, there's like the slutty girl and the jock, and if you do like high risk, high reward sort of choices, she gets really turned on, and like she'll slowly take off more and more of her clothes because you're down in a cave to make out or whatever. And if you impress her, by the end of it, she's in her like bra and underwear, like a lot of horror movies are. But if you kind of piss her off and annoy her, she leaves all of her clothes on. I don't remember her taking clothes off for me, so I guess I was an annoying player.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, there's so many things in that game
In
that
the
I.
quarry, there's a part where there's a character who kind of does that.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
maybe is that what I'm thinking of? Maybe. No, I swore
I-
it was Until Dawn. Maybe it was the
it might have been
quarry.
the quarry.
Okay, oopsie. I'm getting my Choose Your Own Adventures mixed up. Okay,
Uh,
I cut that, Ben, idiot.
but anyway, Until Dawn, I remember really enjoying it. For someone who doesn't like horror, I've really enjoyed all the only one I haven't played is the newest one, the Devil in Me,
Mm.
which I've heard is the worst one of all
Uh,
of them. Like they've progressively gotten sort of worse.
uh,
Even though I'd say Man of Medan, House of Ashes, and Little Hope are
that's
all.
the Iraqi vampires, right?
House of Ashes is Iraqi
Okay.
vampires. Little Hope is witches, and then
Ah.
Man of Medan is ghost ship.
Yep.
I think they all have their strengths and weaknesses, but they're all more or less on the same level. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't really speak to the Devil in Me. But I've liked all of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
So now that we have gotten our praise out for the game, what about the movie?
I had no real desire to see this movie, mainly because the trailer looked so generic. I think, the concept is interesting, but when I saw the trailer, it just felt like, oh, we have a script that has this element in it, but it's not attached to any IP. How do we attach it to IP?
Sure.
Well, we have Until Dawn. That was a popular game. If we just do some minor tweaks, we can basically make it an Until Dawn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't interest me. It looks like every sort of teens going to a haunted thing and then
Sure.
dying. Like I
Yep.
didn't care. But for the podcast, for you, for my appreciation for the game, I went and saw it, and I would say it was better than I expected, but still pretty fucking generic if you ask me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it. I'm just gonna tell you the rating now. I'm gonna give it a C.
Okay.
Because it definitely, I appreciated some of the nods to the game. I was like, it's cool that they included that. Even though it essentially is not an adaptation of the game
No.
at all.
No.
It's more set in the Until Dawn universe.
Uh-huh.
And you even see a little thing at the end where you're like,
Yep. I
okay.
see.
Which, I get why you couldn't adapt a 15-hour game into a 2-hour movie or whatever.
They could. They could.
Whatever. And I appreciate it. Like I thought it was going to be like, oh, you die and then you learn new information every. I mean, you do, but it's not like, oh, well, I know the killer's going to come at this time, and then so
It's different every time.
but it's like it's a totally different thing that's trying to kill you every single time, more or less. But yeah, I thought it was just okay.
Okay.
It didn't really do much for me. The acting was fine, but it was as expected from young newcomers that I've never
Yeah.
seen any of these actors before.
Nah.
I just don't have much to say about this
Okay.
movie. I think the one major positive I'll give it though is some of the deaths were quite shocking
Uh-huh.
and kind of fun.
Yes.
But after like
After your fourth person explodes,
yeah.
the novelty rolls off.
Everything after that, I was like, I don't care about any stats.
Yeah.
It was like everything before that, I was like, okay, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
What did you think, Ben?
I gave this movie a B minus. I had fun with it.
Okay.
I understand these characters are dumb, but that's horror movies. Especially teens in a horror movie, they're allowed to be dumb so they can get killed. And the nice thing about this is you get to see them all get killed multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not winning any awards.
Nope.
It's not going to be on anyone's top 10 horror movie, let
Probably
alone
not.
best movie. But I just kind of had a good time with it. And after it, I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to play this game. Let's do. I mean, I know there are those types of games where you just go through like a simple hallway and you have to notice what's different. And if nothing is different, you go through the exit and go to the next level. If something is different, go back the way you came, and then that will get you to the next level. So it's kind of feels like that, where I could see that sort of gameplay loop being used for this, but I don't know. I think this has a lot of fun scenes. It could have used maybe a few more, like when they're reviewing the footage on the phone. I was like, oh, we're gonna finally see that werewolf that they promised and then didn't deliver on. They showed the werewolf on a sketch of it, and then they use a Wendigo. and like a couple of them, and then just mass killers. Like, where was that goddamn werewolf? We saw that big giant in the woods, and we got weird bugs crawling into people's face. But it's like so a little bit of teasing with not the payoff,
Mhm.
but it's like I guess they could just make another one.
Yeah, I mean, I get why you use the Wendigo because that was the big monster from Until Dawn.
Yeah.
But like that had to do with like Indian burial ground stuff, and it's like the eating, like you become one by eating a person because that's
Yeah.
like this, you know,
That's the old.
sacrilegious thing to do.
Yep.
Where this is just like, oh, you just become one because you got stuck in a time loop long enough.
Yeah.
It's and like, we always talk about, well, what are the fucking rules in a horror movie?
Yes.
And maybe they said it and I just kind of missed it. Like I understand, like this place exists because the town collapsed due to this mining accident.
Yeah.
But what is it that like makes this
Evil.
area time loop and evil?
Yeah.
And it's just like there's this thing that once that is feeding off your fear, and that's why it changes every night because it if you get used to it, you're no
not
longer
scared.
afraid.
Yeah.
But what is doing it?
What
Like,
is
why
it?
does this
Yeah.
exist? And it's like they never try and explain it as
Yeah.
far as I remember. It's just like it just is.
It's metaphorical.
And okay, and then we have this whole thing about so these kids are going to look for her lost sister. It's been a year. Her sister went missing. They had no idea where she went, so they're retracing her stuff to try and find her. Then they find this time loop area where like multiple people have gone missing, and it kind of seems like maybe the town knows about it or doesn't.
I don't think there is a town. I think it's just that gas station and then the little house, and then there's nothing else.
Yeah,
You would,
there's
you
a
would
lot of
drive
weird things up that hill.
like you would just take another path, and you would completely bypass this altogether. I don't think there
but
is
like,
anybody living there. It's just this doctor guy, right?
I mean, well, okay, we'll get to the doctor in a second. So, okay, you have this town, or at least part of the town collapses, and they're just like, oh, that fucking sucks. But like, no one else in the so was it the town collapsed instant time loop, or was it just like the town collapsed, everyone like tried to recover, and they're like, oh well, we'll just leave it here, and then left, and then the evil entity is like, well, now that everyone's gone, now I'll make the time loop.
I don't
Because
know.
it's like you would have to imagine if there's a town that's half sunken and you can go there and see the roofs, like that's where teenagers would go to like hang out and do stuff.
Sure.
And if all of them go missing, the town's got to ask questions like, what the fuck's happened to all the teens? But we're getting into stuff that doesn't matter because it's a horror movie. Who cares?
It could just be that hourglass. The hourglass is cursed. And they put it up in this house, and it just so happened to survive the sinkhole.
But then you have Dr. Alan Hill, or whatever his name is, who was, in the games, and shout out Peter Stormare, or however you say his name, famous character actor.
Yep. Born to play a scumbag.
Reprising his role as creepy guy and everything.
With long, greasy hair and a beard.
And you find out as the movie goes on, like, oh, he's a doctor who's studying this fear-based area and seeing how these people transition. Why isn't he in the time loop?
I don't know.
What powers does he have?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like he has any. He just figured out the loophole in the time hole.
Maybe. Loophole in the time hole. Yep.
Fuck it. Time loop. Just like, how does he play into all this stuff? And he's just being like, just because you are studying fear and these monsters, like that makes you a creepy psycho weirdo?
Yeah.
Who's just like, yeah, kid, I knew you'd be the one to, if you're the one to make it until dawn, I knew it'd be you, but you have to sacrifice one of your friends. But why?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's any real reason you need to.
No.
She kills him so her friends can escape, but like that's the cost of getting out, but it seems like no one's ever gotten out before.
Yeah.
So how does he fucking know that? Is it just him playing mind games? Like, why does he need to play mind games with her? Like, what is his end goal?
And if the rule is kill one of your friends and she kills the doctor, I guess it's just lasts long enough until the sand runs out. But okay, hold on. Let me sidetrack for a second. There's that guy. He's locked up in a cell, and he's turning into a Wendigo.
Yep.
Okay. Do they kill him every day and then relock him up as soon as they can? Because if he's locked up there, slowly turning into one, he would have gotten until dawn, right? He would have stayed awake and alive while he's transforming. Because it didn't seem like it was a instantaneous within a few hours thing. It seemed like the longer he was there.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they killing him every?
Yeah.
So we can do the time loop, so we can constantly keep turning into a Wendigo, or did it all happen in one day? Because
Or is it like, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the rules.
Or is it, you can make it until dawn and then like the time loop allows you to leave, but let's say you made it until dawn, but you couldn't leave because you were tied up. Does that keep you in the time
Okay,
loop? Like, does
okay.
it start over again?
Sure. Yeah, but
Maybe
it's
that's
like
what that
once you
is,
make
but
it
that's never
past,
established.
once you make it till dawn, the clouds part, it's not raining
Yeah, I'm
anymore,
saying
everything's
it
happy.
lets you leave, but then when it goes to nighttime, it starts up again.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, say the rules do not make sense,
Yeah.
and we are sticklers on rules. So yeah, there's a lot of negative shit you could say about this, but it was just a good time. I just like seeing people exploding, get cut in half, and make dumb decisions. Except for the dude who liked the main girl, like that guy was annoying. What
Yeah.
a simp, man! That guy was
Yeah.
just awful.
Yeah, I think he was the worst one of the
Yeah,
group.
I think the other boyfriend like was the most logical out
Oh,
of
of
all of them.
course.
Like I love that guy because like I'm not here for your fucking bullshit. What did you pull me into? Yeah, let's kill one of you fuckers.
Yeah. And there even has an element where that there was that guy, and then his girlfriend who was like part of the original group. Like they're all very close, and that dude is like the add-on,
Mm-hmm.
where he's like talking all this shit, and then so she kills him,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just kind of like, yeah, we're cool about it the next day.
Yeah.
Which I get, like you're in the situation, you need to work together, but I thought that would have been, oh, here's a turning point where this guy is just shitty for the rest of the movie, where they're like, okay, of course he's the one that they sacrificed to
Yeah.
get out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, no, they all get the
They
happy
all get
ending,
out,
which
yeah.
I'm cool with.
Yeah.
But it just
They all
kind of
died
seems,
enough times. They deserve it.
yeah. But it just kind of seems like one of those things where, oh, well, this is where this storyline will go, and it's just like kind of written off really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there really is to say. I mean, I like the part from the game where it's like that "don't breathe, don't move" thing, where
Mm.
where they're underground, the Wendigo's there, and it's like flashing the red light, and then it'll go
Oh
dark,
yeah,
and
yeah,
flashing,
yeah.
and like it moves closer,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like that's straight from the game.
Yeah. Or her hiding behind the door as the killer's coming. Got to be quiet. Like she's trying to pick up a knife and then makes a sound.
I think when the one girl, she's like on the glass that's slowly breaking. I think that's like a quick time event in
Yeah.
the game too, not in the same context,
Sure.
but like something similar to that. So there's plenty of fun little nods like that. Hit Dr. Allen's office and you see like the file that has
Rami Malek, right?
yeah, the digital version of Rami Malek, which is
Yeah.
just weird. Just use his.
Just
I mean, I
his-
guess you can't use his face because
It's probably
you-
cheaper to use your digital likeness than your actual likeness.
but it's just weird seeing like a PlayStation picture on
Yeah.
someone's file. Whatever.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, oh, yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Which is weird because then they cut at the end to him, or not him, but like a video of the house where you do the game.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So it's like,
so
were
is
they
this is a
planned?
prequel?
Yeah.
It makes it seem like, but he has files on this guy.
Yeah.
But is it just like, oh, I'm going to use him for this thing?
Mhm.
I don't remember.
I think he should have just been a manifestation of whoever's mind, the main woman's mind. She is kind of like going through this thing, and then when put through a supernatural stuff, that he just appears for anybody who's through that.
Okay,
and then
yeah.
he just appears when you were doing the
Which,
other
I mean, I guess
Until
he
Dawn.
kind of said, so I don't know, but she still killed him to get out. Or is
Yeah,
that...
he still had to blow up, and yeah, I don't know. And it's like, why was the water's always dangerous? So like, if it changes every day, so you can't plan for things, you would think the water would turn back to normal, and then you wouldn't be able to drink it, or at least you wouldn't try to drink it.
Yeah.
But it still works. I guess all the monsters come back in the last scene as well. So whatever.
Yeah, I'd be curious how you rate this movie too without the psychic friend character, because it just feels like one of those things. Like, well, how do we write around some of this mumbo jumbo? It's like, well, we'll give someone a superpower. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
I hate that they do that so often in horror movies.
Oh, I'm a medium. I'm getting a
I'm
real weird
clairvoyant.
vibe. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
But I did like the part where she becomes possessed, and she's pointing to all the pictures, and you hear everyone's voice. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Um,
David F. Sandberg directed this little cameo. He's one of the pictures on the wall.
Yep.
The moment I saw him, I was like, "Yep." Like you can just tell when someone's a cameo sometimes. And I didn't realize he directed this. He did the Shazam movies. He did Lights Out. And like Lights Out, it didn't have the greatest sort of rules and
Yeah.
backstory, and so maybe
And
need someone to
I think
work on
another
that.
thing about this movie that I didn't love, and it's what I don't love generally about horror movies, it's just a jump scare movie.
Yeah,
Where
but there's some pretty effective jump scares in
no, I'm not
this.
saying they don't necessarily work. There was one in the very beginning that really got me. I can't remember
Mm-hmm.
what it is. It might have just been like a car going by or
Sure.
like a loud honk or something.
Uh-huh.
I was like, damn it, I knew it was coming. It still got
Yeah.
me. Uh, but I like my horror movies a little more creepy than scary. Put out that vibe of just unsettling. Where this is just, oh, here's another thing that jumps out at loud music part.
Yeah.
Uh,
There was one like it kind of reminded me of It Follows, where something big was in a hallway and was just kind of like coming towards you really fast.
mhm.
That really got me. There was one where someone's like far away in a hallway and
Oh
you think
yeah,
it's about
yeah.
to run and then a guy
That's
pops
one of
out.
the videos.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Wait,
maybe, I don't know.
yeah. Oh, whatever.
But yeah, there's some good scares in it, good gore. You know, biggest complaint though, they're all brunettes. You don't do that in a horror movie. You got to throw a blonde in there. The girlfriend should have been a blonde.
Yeah, she had the nose ring. You could have given her like this
Yeah.
weird like pink pixie cut or something like
Or I
that.
mean, she has the big curly hair. You have big blonde curly hair. That's different than everybody else.
Yeah.
But I will applaud them whenever they have Asian women in movies. They always give them like a purple or blue streak in
Oh,
their
okay.
hair. They didn't do that, so that's nice.
Well, just from her outfit, I was like, should she have played Jubilee in the X-Men movies? Like she had the kind of look. But sure, yeah, everyone was. I never really thought
Sure,
about that.
yeah.
It didn't bother me.
No, it's just one of those horror movie tropes. You gotta have like, oh, that's the fat guy. That's the one with glasses. That's the hot one. That's the
Not the one with glasses.
But all these people were just brunettes of normal attractiveness. Like
Yeah.
nobody really stood out from each other. So
Hmm.
you need a redhead or a freckly guy or something.
Yeah.
Guy in a wheelchair, something. Just not a bunch of brunettes.
Oh yeah, you never really see people with
Disabilities.
in horror movies.
In the first Texas Chainsaw, there's a guy in a wheelchair. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but I mean, there's that not Mute. What's the Flanagan movie with his wife and she's deaf.
Yeah.
Fuck. So I mean, she has a disability. It's not like missing a limb
Yeah.
or
Hush.
Hush. Yes. Yeah, like I don't think I've ever seen someone with Down syndrome die in a horror movie.
Mhm.
It just doesn't happen.
It'd be so sad.
It would be. Or it's like, why isn't there more deaf characters where the bad guy's sneaking up behind and the audience is screaming, "Oh my god, he's behind you!" He hits the creak of the floor and stops, but
Yeah, how does a blind person get out of a situation where like this monster can see them, but they like
yeah.
would they just die instantly? Because like, well, how the fuck would I survive?
Yeah.
Or
No,
like,
they're the hero because at the end of the movie they get trapped in like these underground caves, but they can smell a certain flower outside. And
Yeah.
everybody, the rest of the team, they're like, "We can't see anything." And she's just like, "Follow me. The darkness is my mother."
Darkness is my
Yeah, I don't know. It's my superpower. And then yeah, she runs straight off a cliff. It's Scary Movie 6. Here we go.
I'm just saying. We talk about inclusivity in movies.
Sure.
Give me a team of people with differences and throw them in a horror movie that I haven't seen before. I'd
Yeah,
watch the shit out of that.
Like The Ringer, but horror,
Well, maybe not that movie, but I get what you're saying.
All right.
Anywho,
anything else to say? I don't got much.
I mean, I don't know what the box office has been doing with this, like if it's been successful or not. My theater was actually pretty packed.
We had some people in ours, yeah.
Which is the first time I've seen, like, it was less packed than when I saw Sinners.
You mean more?
More packed than when I saw Sinners. Yeah. But maybe I saw Until Dawn, like, opening weekend, or like opening day versus Sinners. I saw, like, early morning one night, I think. Anyhow. Until Dawn. If it does well and it warrants sequels and stuff, just I guess you call it Until Dawn, Max Keebler's Big Move or something. You have that little, you give it a little something else.
Yeah.
So it's in the universe,
Yeah.
but a totally different story. Because like all the games just have different names. Like you wouldn't know that they're part of the Dark and anthology series or whatever. But
yeah. Yeah, Until Dawn, I Know What You Did Last Winter.
yeah, I don't know. It's like, but now that you've teased that, do you now do an
Yeah, do you follow?
adaptation of that?
Yeah.
Do you make it a television series of that? Or is it, do you do a Bandersnatch thing where it's kind of like you can
Okay.
choose how the story changes in
Yeah.
that regard? That's where I thought where you would use the elements of the game is do a Bandersnatch for Until Dawn. But you know what? I don't fucking care.
Wrap this shit up.
I'm done anyway.
All right. Well, next week, Thunderbolts. Finally get to learn what that goddamn asterisk is all about. Anything else? I'm sure there's other things coming out next week, but
we'll talk Last of Us.
We'll talk Last of Us. Maybe we'll talk Black Mirror.
Maybe we'll talk Wheel of Time.
Maybe we'll talk Wheel of Time. I'll probably, Andor's got episodes 4, 5, and 6 that I will rant and rave about.
I'll try and watch 9 episodes of television just for you, then.
All right. Well, if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. As always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And keep consuming.